Hello, lovely people. This is Dev. Welcome you all back to my podcast, The Empowered Journal. Through this podcast, I'm delighted to share things that's close to my heart, ideas, and some interesting tips from my life experience. And guys, thank you so much for your tremendous response from my last episode, Power of Networking. I am overwhelmed. Yes, so without much delay, let's dive into today's episode and let me read out the question loud. Hey Dave, hope you are doing fine. I have an interesting question for you. I recently happened to meet my college classmates as part of the reunion we organized. Along with a lot of fun and how our look changed with thin hair and thick bellies, I noticed something interesting. Many of my classmates who were academically brilliant in IQ in the college were not doing much with their lives. Conversely, a large number of friends who were backbenchers seemed to be quite successful with their high flying careers or entrepreneurship, running their own businesses. Why is that? My dear listener, this is an incredible question, and thank you so much for bringing this on limelight at the right time. To answer your question, I need to introduce you to something very interesting, just like your question. Have you heard of this term called EQ, famously known as emotional intelligence or emotional quotient? You know what? In the last 20 years, the concept of emotional intelligence has evolved so much. Believe me, because historically we are all very familiar with IQ. Just like you rightly pointed out, it's nothing but an ability to understand an information. Scores on IQ tests have been linked to better academic performance and higher jobs, highly paid jobs, and in fact, better job performance. But EQ has been linked to much bigger success. In fact, it is a bigger predictor of success than IQ, like successful job, happy relationship, and most importantly, listen to me very carefully, there is an evidence that emotional intelligence may help you handle your stress. That's amazing, right? Yes, it is a very critical skill for life because we go through more than 400 emotional experience every single day. So on today's episode, let's find out what is emotional intelligence and why it is so important, and how can you be an emotional intelligent person. You know what? We all have very different personalities, different wants and needs, and different ways of showing our emotions. Navigating through this all takes like lot of cleverness and tactics, especially if we hope to succeed in life. Having an IQ is very crucial in today's workplace. I hope you all would agree with me on that point. If you can build and maintain strong relationship, then you can work happily and productively with the people around you. It's also one of the key attributes of being an effective leader. So let's dive in a little more deeper. Apart from the Google definition, I would like to get down a bit more in deriving it. And I'm going to give you two examples of emotional intelligence, a bad one and a good one, who were actually very successful to take over million people's trust and made them their followers because of their higher EQ. The first person, Hitler. We couldn't have ignored this name in our lifetime, right? This guy had a terrific talent and he had a great EQ. Basically, he was a common man in Germany, but he was very well aware how he can win elections by using his emotional intelligence. He grabbed attention by speaking those words that would stir the hearts of people, that would stir the hearts of audience. And with this, he became the dictator. And yeah, the rest is history. A bad one. And now, talking about our Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi. He exactly understands what people want to hear from him, and he starts delivering that wherever he goes, whether it is US, Australia, or at home. I think you will agree with me on that point too. This is the prime reason he is so successful grabbing attention across the globe. And he hits directly at the people's emotion whenever he speaks and directly reaches to their heart. Of course, we have people, those who love and hate him, but do not miss out to follow him. Am I right? So it's all about managing the emotion that comes up when there is a tension and conflict. Those people who excel at that are those with higher EQ. So with this brief introduction, I think I basically conveyed you or even convinced you why it is so important to have higher emotional intelligence. So let me get to the point. We all have these moments. Everyone has some stress, faces threats, or just hard times. The question here is, how do we react? Does the stress worry us? Or can we actually ride through to recovery? If yes, then how? How to develop EQ and maturity? I have been working on developing my own emotional intelligence, and it's been a very, very tough journey. What I have learned is it's an ongoing process. and I still have my own battles, trust me. But here are a few steps that I tried and still trying to implement on daily basis, which is helping me. There are certain things you need to unlearn, certain unhealthy behaviors which I was doing, so I'm recommending you to stop that as well. And obviously I was doing without much awareness. So I'm here to tell you few activities where you can be more self-aware and be emotionally intelligent. Because when we hang out with people with higher EQ, be it work or in life, we feel energized, therefore more productive, right? There are 3 self-awareness activities to get started with. Step number 1, stop and pause. It's vital that you don't lash out or shut down and hide your feelings whenever you're hurt or angry. That's not being emotionally intelligent. Pause. Feel the emotion in your body. Breathe. Then choose how you want to respond. Rather than having an irrelevant emotional response which will make you regret later. Because between cause and the effect, there is a space. In that space is our path to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and happiness. Think before you react. Step number 2, always question your thoughts. Before that, observe your thoughts, because your thoughts elicit your emotion influences your decision creates an action, and your action establishes the outcome. I hope you get that. Let's say that your friend's supposed to call you today to make plans for a day out, but she didn't. You will feel abandoned, angry, sad, and you believe your friend is just gaslighting you. But is that true? Ask yourself, what can be the other interpretation? So this will help you to understand the other side of the story and you can react better. Step number 3, do the inner work by journaling. When we don't know how to regulate our emotion, we basically stay stuck in anger for months or even years. And we tend to argue with someone who hurt us for years inside our head. You could relate with me, right? Because we don't think through these things. Try these activities probably the next time. Find out how to react when you are misunderstood, criticized, or someone disagrees with you. How can you set firmer boundaries with kindness when people don't respect your boundaries? And also try to retrospect or analyze how connected you feel with your family, friends, and your colleagues. How those relationships makes you feel. Is it fulfilled, motivated, inspired, frustrated, or misunderstood? You need to do a lot of retrospection through this internal journal. So these activities will basically make you more aware of yourself and so that you can react better. And these questions are about choosing the right style for the situation. There are times in life when you look at someone and wonder how come they are totally in control of things always. They don't get angry in stressful situations. Instead, they have the ability to look at the problem and calmly find a solution. Whether it is a colleague who deals with tricky work situation, he or she ensures they don't rub anybody's ego wrong way, or a friend who makes a complete stranger feel very comfortable within minutes of meeting them. Truly, this is amazing actually. Think for a moment about the best boss that you have ever had. What was it that made working with him or her rewarding or happy? Maybe your boss was happy and excited about his work and that made you feel happy and excited. Or he never got angry with you when problems come up, but instead focused on providing workable solution. Or he was so confident but always ready to hear people's opinion. As a result, whatever it may be, you enjoyed your job and consistently performed well. The answer lies in their emotional intelligence or the ability to monitor their own emotion and others as well. Yes, so how well you do in your life and career is determined by both IQ and EQ. In fact, IQ alone isn't enough, EQ matters a lot. So we need to know how to apply emotional intelligence in all 3 places, like our daily lives, work, and most importantly in leadership skills. So with this, we have come to the end of the episode. Let me conclude this episode with a quick suggestion. As a small step, try spending 60 seconds writing down what you think and feel before you start your day and at the end of the day. Are you fearful, worried, angry? You know what? You don't have to solve any of this. Work on them for now. Just know where you are because it's all about self-awareness. Trust me. Nobody ever recommended you to become a robot or leaving your emotions behind. In fact, to be a great leader, you need to be a human first and one who has mastered emotional intelligence skills. So I hope you are probably determined EQ can be a key to success in your life, especially in your career. Because the ability to manage people and relationship is very, very important as leaders. So I like to hear from you about ways emotional intelligence gets used in your life and work, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the admirable way. Why? Because for my ongoing research on emotional leadership skills. Yeah, that would be one of my upcoming topics too. So, guys, with this, let me sign off from you. I'll catch up with you again soon. Start on your game and keep going for your dreams. Download Spotify and subscribe The Empowered Journal and stay tuned with me for more journals. Until this is Dave signing off, I will see you on next episode. Nandri.